All right. Hey there, Florida homeowners. Welcome to another deep dive.
Yeah, welcome.
Owning a home in Florida, well, it's a dream for a lot of people, but it also comes with, its own unique set of challenges and opportunities.
Definitely a unique set of things to think about when you're a homeowner here.
Yeah. So today, we're going to really dive into a hub of resources
That's right.
that are specifically tailored for you guys, Florida homeowners.
Yeah. And we've got some great resources that we've been looking at that can help you make the most of your experience as a homeowner in Florida.
Yeah, absolutely
It's
can.
everything from managing your mortgage to, tackling those home improvement projects you've been putting off, and even resources for first-time homebuyers.
Yeah, one of the things that I thought was really cool about the resources that we're looking at is that they're really focused on options that are specific to Florida.
Absolutely.
A lot of times you see advice about refinancing or, getting a loan for home improvement, but it's not really tailored to our state. And these resources really zero in on, local rates,
Yeah.
lenders that are familiar with the Florida market, and programs that are designed for Florida homeowners.
And even community recommendations
Yeah.
from other Florida homeowners so you can get a sense of what's worked for people in your area.
I love that because it's like getting advice from your neighbor,
Exactly.
right? Someone who's been there, done that, and can tell you what to watch out for, who to go to.
Exactly.
And to kind of give you an overview of what we're going to be talking about today,
Yeah.
we're going to hit on refinancing. So if you're looking to lower your monthly payments or maybe even tap into some of that equity you've built up in your home,
Mm.
we're going to talk about options for that.
Right. And tools to help you figure out if refinancing is the right move for you.
Yeah, exactly. Like calculators and things like that.
Exactly.
We're also going to dig into home improvements
Yeah.
because, whether you're just wanting to, spruce up your place or you've got some essential repairs that you need to tackle.
Yeah.
There are a lot of different ways to finance those projects.
Absolutely. And the resources actually highlight a variety of options like renovation loans, Florida home improvement programs.
I like how they break it down by category
Yeah.
because it can be overwhelming to figure out where to even start.
Right. You see all these different terms and you're not sure which one applies to you.
Exactly. So they actually have specific programs for things like window and door replacement,
Ooh, yeah.
roof replacement, which are huge,
Yeah. Big ticket items.
especially here in Florida with the hurricanes and the storms we get.
Absolutely got to have a good roof.
Yeah. And what I thought was really interesting too is that they have a section called Need a Roofer.
Really?
Yeah. And they actually provide community recommendations for the best roofers in Florida.
That's awesome.
There's like crowdsourced, vetting of these contractors.
Yeah, word of mouth is always the best way to find someone you can trust.
Absolutely. And they also have community recommendations for lenders as well.
Oh, wow.
So whether you're looking for financing or, someone to actually do the work,
Yeah.
you can get some insights from other Florida homeowners.
Great resource.
Yeah. And then beyond those specific programs, we'll talk about other financing options for home improvements, like home equity loans, HELOCs,
Right.
which, can be a great way to tap into your home's value to fund those bigger projects.
Yeah. And they actually emphasize being able to compare Florida rates.
Oh, that's so helpful.
So you can shop around and find the best deal.
Yeah, because, interest rates can make a big difference in the long run.
Absolutely.
They also mention improvement loans as another option. And just like with refinancing,
Yeah.
there are calculators available to help you crunch the numbers and figure out what's going to work best for you.
Those calculators are essential.
They are. They really are. Because, you don't want to just jump into something without having a clear picture of the financial implications.
Absolutely.
And then finally, we're going to talk about down payment assistance programs.
Oh, yeah. This is
Yeah.
important.
Because we know for a lot of folks that initial down payment
Yeah.
can be a huge obstacle to buying a home.
The biggest hurdle for a lot of people.
Exactly. So these programs are designed specifically for first-time home buyers in Florida.
That's great.
And they can really help to make that dream of home ownership a reality.
Yeah. It can make a huge difference.
So our goal today is to give you a comprehensive overview of these resources
Exactly.
and to empower you to take the next step in your homeownership journey.
Whether it's refinancing, improving your home, or buying your first home.
Exactly. And if you find this deep dive helpful, please give us a like or a thumbs up. It really helps us out.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
So let's jump right into it and start with refinancing. Now, refinancing can be a really powerful tool for homeowners,
It can be.
especially here in Florida, where property values have been, pretty volatile in recent years.
Yeah.
Refinancing can allow you to potentially lower your monthly mortgage payment
Right.
or shorten the term of your loan or even access some of that equity you've built up.
Yeah, if you've been in your home for a while and you've seen the value go up, refinancing can be a way to tap into that equity.
Exactly. And the resources that we're looking at today really emphasize finding local options.
Yeah.
So it's not just about getting generic advice, it's about finding lenders and programs that are tailored to the Florida market.
Right. And they actually highlight community recommendations for over 150 mortgage refinance lenders in Florida.
That's awesome.
So you can get insights from other homeowners who've been through the process.
And I think that's so valuable because, you can read reviews online and stuff,
Sure.
but there's nothing like getting a recommendation from someone you trust.
Absolutely. Someone who's been in your shoes.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're even just curious about whether refinancing might be right for you,
Yeah.
the resources mention that there's a refinance calculator available under the mortgage section.
Oh, that's great.
So you can kind of plug in your numbers
Yeah.
and see what the potential savings could be.
That can give you a starting point for your research.
Exactly. And then you can decide whether it's worth pursuing further.
Right. Make that informed decision.
Okay, so let's move on to home improvements.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is something that pretty much every homeowner deals with at some point.
Yeah. Whether it's, fixing a leaky faucet or renovating your entire kitchen.
Exactly. And these projects can range from, minor repairs to major renovations.
Absolutely.
And the cost can add up quickly.
Yeah, they can.
So it's important to have a plan for how you're going to finance those projects.
And these resources really emphasize that there are a variety of ways to finance your home improvement projects, even if you're on a tight budget.
Yeah, I like how they don't just assume that everybody has, tons of cash on hand.
Right.
They actually provide options for folks who might need to borrow money or explore different financing programs.
And they break it down into categories, so it's easy to understand.
Yeah, they mentioned renovation loans and Florida home improvement programs
Right.
as broad categories, and then they drill down into more specific programs.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so for example, they have programs for window and door replacement, roof replacement.
Which are essential, especially here in Florida.
Absolutely, you got to have a solid roof and energy-efficient windows and doors.
Definitely.
And they even have a section called Need a Roofer, which I thought was really clever.
Yeah, I like that.
And they provide community recommendations for the best roofers in Florida.
So you're not just getting a random list of contractors.
Yeah, you're getting recommendations from other homeowners who have actually used these roofers and can vouch for their work.
Yeah, that's so valuable.
And they do the same thing for lenders as well.
Oh, wow.
So you can get community recommendations for financing your home improvement projects too.
Great resource.
Yeah. And then beyond those specific programs, they talk about other financing options like Florida home equity loans and HELOCs,
Right.
which can be a good way to fund larger projects.
Yeah, using your home's equity.
Exactly. And they highlight the ability to compare Florida rates for these types of loans.
You can shop around and find the best deal.
Exactly. Because interest rates can vary quite a bit from lender to lender.
Absolutely.
And, it's worth taking the time to compare and make sure you're getting the most favorable terms.
It can save you a lot of money in the long run.
Yeah, for sure. And they also mentioned improvement loans as another option, which is kind of a broader category
Right.
that can encompass different types of loans.
And they mentioned that there are calculators available for both home equity loans and improvement loans.
Those calculators are so helpful.
They are. They really help you understand the financial implications.
Well, yeah, you can plug in your numbers and see, what your monthly payments would be, how much interest you would pay over the life of the loan.
Exactly. All those important factors.
So it really gives you a clear picture of what you're getting into.
Informed decision making.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So whether you're facing a sudden roof repair or you're planning a dream kitchen renovation,
Yeah.
there are options available to you, and there are resources to help you find the right financing and the right professionals to get the job done. So let's shift gears now and talk about down payment assistance.
Okay.
Now, for a lot of folks, especially first-time home buyers,
Yeah.
that down payment can feel like a huge hurdle.
Yeah. It's a big chunk of money.
It is. It is. And the resources we're looking at, they specifically highlight the availability of Florida down payment assistance programs
Oh, that's good.
for first-time home buyers. And these programs are available across many counties and major cities throughout Florida.
So there's a good chance that there's something available in your area.
Yeah, absolutely. And these programs can provide grants or loans
Right.
to help with that down payment. And some of them even offer closing cost assistance.
That's huge.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. Because those closing costs can really add up too.
Yeah, they can be a significant expense.
So knowing that there's help available can really make a difference for folks who are trying to achieve that dream of home ownership.
It can make it more attainable.
Yeah, absolutely.
It can make it feel less overwhelming.
For sure.
So it's worth exploring these programs and seeing what you might qualify for.
Absolutely. We'll have links to all of these resources down below on the page so you can check them out.
Excellent.
So just to kind of recap what we've talked about today,
Yeah.
we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
We've talked about refinancing options for Florida homeowners.
Right.
We've talked about different ways to finance home improvements.
From loans to HELOCs to specific programs.
Exactly. And we've talked about down payment assistance programs for first-time home buyers.
All tailored to Florida residents.
Yeah, all specifically for Florida homeowners. And, our goal here is to give you a clear picture
Right.
of the resources that are available to you.
And to empower you to make informed decisions.
Exactly. And if you found this deep dive helpful, please give us a like or a thumbs up.
We appreciate it.
It really helps us out and lets us know that we're on the right track.
Yeah, keeps us going.
So here's a final thought for you to consider.
Okay.
How can these resources help you to take the next step in your homeownership journey?
Yeah, what action can you take today?
Exactly. Whether it's, finally tackling that bathroom remodel you've been putting off, or looking into refinancing to lower your monthly payments.
Or even just researching those down payment assistance programs.
Yeah, there's a wealth of information out there, and we encourage you to explore it and find what works best for you.
Take advantage of these resources.
Absolutely. And just a reminder, we'll have all the links to the resources we mentioned down below on the page.
Right.
So make sure you check those out, and if you found this deep dive useful, please hit that like or thumbs up button one last time.
We appreciate your support.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.